Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? The unit is a cleaning SAM. Hawthorne brought it on board some cycles ago, I'm sure with the intent to modify it, but I've never seen it up and running. Alex likely recorded progress notes detailing his efforts to modify SAM. If you check the terminal in your captain's quarters, we may be able to determine what work remains in order for SAM to properly operate. I have lots of minutes. Many minutes. Unlimited minutes, perhaps. Providing an adequate power source, I can function indefinitely. I require a captain to pilot the ship. Without an identified captain or crew, I serve no purpose. As you may be aware, Captain Alex Hawthorne was a smuggler of some repute. I failed to predict the likely outcome of his reckless behavioral patterns. I should have predicted that. In our travels together, Alex liked to pass time by, as he called it, tinkering to improve my design. If you mean, was Captain Hawthorne my first? Yes, he was. Remember that you are not insured.
Never seen the Vale lit up like this before. Bang up work, soldier. You're a credit to your uniform. Oh, so this is it then. The key to... I would reward you with the gratitude of the Resistance, but I'm guessing you want something tactile.
I had a question about your plan, Mr. Vicker.
Of course. The cosmos is generated and direct universal equation, also known as the Grand Plan. By contemplating the teleological order of things, one can achieve verity. Oh, right. You had a question?
Never mind. That about answers it.
Wish we had some better rations.
Spacer's Choice, the brand... Music to my ears.
I never got a chance to thank you for hearing me out. No, kid? Ain't that just ironical? If I'd worked a little longer back at... That's a complete set! Aside from you,
I'm glad we could help.
I've been saving something for you. I'm happy when I'm working with my hands. Just gotta convince them to let me use...
Yeah, so this is my hide. I was looking for a place that was quiet. I figured the kitchen would be louder than the whole... Cozy like. That's in pretty good shape considering how hard Mr. Hawthorne ran it. It's a Yakita LHA 120, A2 model, I'm pretty sure. The Block 2 design scooshed in extra cargo space but didn't change the stock engines. Probably a touch under...
Accurate in all particulars. I conclude you are Edgewater's board certified.
Fly-by-wire's pretty normal. Or leastways, that's what I read in the trades. I've never been on a real ship before. Hello! I am not a board-certified mechanic, but my dad was. He taught me all he knew.
Speech recognition is one of the many skills
You're not simulating it, you're doing it! I asked...
I am gratified you consider the...
I don't see any holes in the hull. I'll take a good squint at her, make sure everything's tip-top. But I think we're cooking with You can do that, you know. My dad taught me how to make grilled cheese sandwiches with a...
We've arrived at Phineas's orbital lab.
Hello? Can you hear me? Does this work? Oh, damn it! Blast, that's loud. I'm just securing my ongoing experiments. And securing myself. Mind the mess. I haven't had a visitor since, in fact, I've never had a visitor. Aha! I see you found my portable molecular compression device, better known as a shrink ray. Find a target, point, shoot. Your target will shrink down into a manageable size, whereupon you may commence beating them to a pulp. Feel free to try it on a marauder sometime. Oh, thank the law. Your skin hasn't spontaneously changed color. Potential side effect of the revive. Right. Welcome to my little habitation, such as it is. I've got caffeinoids, cysty bits, if you're into that. So, welcome. Make yourself... Not at all, my intrepid accomplice. I should thank you for tolerating my somewhat brusque manner. I only regret that I couldn't save more of your fellow settlers, what with being hunted by the board, and emptying my supply of necessary chemicals. Of course. What's on your mind? Oh, it's not you. I do experiments in that room. Some of them get quite scientific. The unexpected is to be treasured, but from a safe distance. Regardless, it's quite comfortable in here, you know. I have my beans, have my caffeinoids, plenty of toilet paper. Absolutely. Let's talk. No, and I've been trying very hard to avoid making eye contact.
Nice to meet you, Dr. Wells. I'm Parvati Holcomb.
Wait, not another word. I don't want to know your name. I don't want to know who you are. Let's just enjoy our plausible deniability while it lasts, shall we? Why don't you just invite the entire colony to my secret, carefully concealed laboratory? It isn't as if I wanted privacy. No, I was being rude. I'm not accustomed to extending hospitality, and I've never had visitors before. For what it's worth, I am pleased that you found a crew, such as they are. You're a talented scientist, after all. Our kind has always been incredibly popular. Yes, indeed. Well done. Also, you still haven't spontaneously liquefied, which pleases me immensely. Progress. What's up? Make excellent test subjects. Also surprisingly nutritious.
The Groundbreaker has approved our request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark.
Can we chat? Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson? I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff. Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it... Did you want to talk?
Just checking your ship's manifest. Standard procedure. Welcome to Groundbreaker, by the by.
Captain. Hey, Captain. I'm in space. I never thought I'd be able to say that. Where are we headed?
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a tossball stick, I heard you the first time. There weren't any witnesses.
No witnesses. He's not even denying it.
Jackass had it coming.
Shut it, Felix. You're not making this any better.
You get cute with me again, you little Back Bay brat, I will toss you out an airlock.
This is the Groundbreaker, not Byzantium. You ain't the law here. I am. Now move along.
I don't have time for this. Need a drink.
Going for a stroll around the dock? Sure was. Got a knack for upsetting the board and the Mardettes all at once. Between you and me, I was hoping they'd come to fisticuffs. The guy insulted my Rizzo's Rangers, all right? You can't just insult my Rangers and expect to get away with it. So, of course, I decked him with a tossball stick. I mean, what am I? Only the finest group of tossball players ever to take the field. He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes swaggering up with his head... Exactly. I was only doing what any self-respecting Rangers fan... Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm just a Back Bay's dock worker. Well, former dock worker. Guess I just tendered my resignation. Enjoy my freedom. Scrounged together enough bits for a 0G. Other than that, can't say as I do. Hey, not for nothing, but I saw you wander out of that ship over there by the dock. Wouldn't happen to be yours, would it? Captain of the Unreliable. You're like something out of a serial drama. Hey, I don't want to talk your ears off, guessing you got places to be. I appreciate your time. Felix Millstone. Pleased to make your acquaintance. See you around, boss.
Customs and inspection, right this way. Identification, please. Captain Hawthorne, you said. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until...
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's done.
Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative here on... His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't miss it. Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so I shouldn't be mentioning it. But what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you must arrive... You take the starch out of them, well, you won't hear any... Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind doing me a favor? Wanda Dorset over in sickbay, tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it. A handful of SAM cleaning units retrofitted for surgery. I don't know much else. I stopped listening when she started... Much? Is there anything... Maybe. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through Groundbreaker. Every couple of months, we even get a big interest. 2 biggest operations are the board. That is, Halcyon Holdings and Sublight Salvage. But there are independent operators around the promenade deck. Most of those jobs are going to take you off stage. Commandant Sanita might have a couple of folks she needs killed. Bad folks, I mean. Not regular folks. She'll be at... Chief Junlei might have an errand needs running. She's all tied up trying to fix our heat problem. You'll find her in...
No kidding? I'd love to get a look at this.
If you're thinking to make a career here, full-time jobs on Groundbreaker tend to be inherited, or go to a fellow crew member's kid. Keep it in the family. Are you pulling my leg? You must be one of them long-haul freighters from outside the colony. Well, I won't hold it against you. Goes like this. Back on Earth, before the crossing, the powers that be were selling off stakes in distant star systems they thought had potential. A bunch of companies decided to throw in together and form the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, then buy up the rights to this here colony. That group's what we now call the Board. Groundbreaker was one of the original colony vessels to come over on the crossing, a few years before her sister ship, the Hope. Once everybody'd been de-thawed and dropped dirtside, the original crew of the Groundbreaker decided they rather liked this. I guess that was the start of our independent spirit. Yep, Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Aside from us, there's just tramp freighters and wild... Seems like every year the board's offices get bigger and their ships take up more of the landing base. Haven't seen nearly as many... Sitting around drinking whiskey and smoking cigars, yeah, probably. Can't say for sure, of course. Doubt I'll ever see the... Glad to help. They strip the parts from derelict ships and abandoned outposts. There's some that say they make the derelicts and encourage folks to... Sublight gives me the creeps. I've known folks who went to work for them and just... They're on the promenade run by a woman named Lilia Hagen. I'm only... Relative to the board holdings? Not really. But there's a few with the means... They aren't rich, but they aren't likely to look too close at your work history. All right. He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board. Get the sense he doesn't care for Groundbreaker much. Not that he would, being a board man and all. He's our liaison. They can't abide an independent township, especially not one they gotta depend on. We're the first and last stop out of this colony. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top in manifest processing fees with every one. Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like, and that terrifies them. You sure you didn't just step off one of the interstellar freighters? There's no working with the board. They don't share, not bits, people, or resources. You work for them, or you don't work at all. Groundbreaker cooperating now would be tantamount to joining their ranks, and we sure as shit ain't. It's a delicate balance, right? We could cancel their freighters' docking privileges in retaliation, but they got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of mining operations that we push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces. Or they cobble together a new ground.
The board wouldn't do that.
The board is necessary to provide order to the colony. They believe it's their prerogative to overrun you. But whether you allow that...
It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we... Sure thing. Most places are on the promenade deck. Big door yonder, straight through security. There's a bar. I got a preference for the Lost Hope myself. Talk to Vera. You need anything else? The fence. You'll find her in the rest and go. On your left when you enter the promenade. Make sure. Be seeing you.
Unless you're here to file an incident report or to inquire about the bounty posting, I must kindly ask you to clear out. The Mardettes... Got a hot one for you. Captain Gunnar McRed. Just 26 hours old. Allegations include several counts of flying under the influence, carrying open alcoholic containers, failure to pay... Swerving in the air was more like it. Then he crashed hard into the dock and tumbled out of his ship and spilled Rizzo's Violet Spectrum vodka all over Officer Hartley. An affront of its own, considering none of us are approved for anything higher than green. Kicked one right in the kneecap while he poked the other in the eyes. McRed's lucky we're too backlogged right now to hunt him down. But if our resources clear up and we catch him before some contractor does, I fully plan to lock him in ISO with them 2 officers he wounded. Last tip we got pointed toward the back bays. You want the reward? You and about 6 other enterprising mavericks. It's only a matter of time before someone brings me McRed's head, or his lucky lighter, as proof. I do hope you're the lucky hunter, though.
This is it. Security. I can check the departures registry to find out which crew the Scholar shipped in and out with.
I picked up this weird signal the other day. It was coming from Monarch.
Here we go again. No one lives on Monarch. It's a wasteland. You were hearing things.
No, seriously. There was a lot of static at first, but then this voice said his name was Graham?
Graham.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. The board would like to remind spacers and other travelers that passage to Monarch is restricted for your protection. Can you...
Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
Are you listening to me, Mfuru? You can't keep me out of there.
Please don't make a scene, Dr. Fenhill.
I am not making a scene. I'm sorry. See, Mfuru? We could have avoided all this unpleasant...
Let me get one thing straight. Jesse and I are not friends.
As for the rest, I'm trying to figure that out. All I know is that she's been here too long, and she's a pair. Be my guest. If you know something I don't about dealing with hospital bureau...
Something I can help. If only my other patients had so many inquiring after them. The records say Miss Doyle checked herself in and requested I admit no visitors. The requests of our patients are paramount. She's not my patient. I'm certain no one on my staff would falsify patient records. Not without dispensation from Chief Junlei, I fear. We don't have the ability to manufacture our own. Regrettably, we are dependent on the board for such mundane items as bandages and antibiotics, as well as more critical resources. We'd nearly signed a supply agreement with Anti-Cleos, but they demanded we only use their branded drugs, and that's... Take care.
Good luck getting to Jesse. And better luck if you do. Real piece of work.
Can't say I've seen you before. If you're here to better yourself, you'll have to wait. We're having a spot of trouble. He must be referring to Irion. I'm sure the fool's gotten himself into another... I'm beginning to wonder if I'm ever gonna get my service... Our delivery man. A brave idiot with a penchant for getting himself delayed. Sometimes by... Surgery, mostly. Medical personnel are difficult to come by on ground. The board won't let their doctors and nurses station here, and they own all the medical schools. If we can't hire their people... Everyone on staff here on Groundbreaker was trained by me or Idris. We're good, don't get me wrong. But we've only 2 heads between us. I'd be grateful if you'd spare the time. We need his delivery soon as yesterday. Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla, an asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. That's where I'd start. You look out, though. The place is...
CNP Borstwurst. It's not the worst unless it's Borstwurst.
You look like someone who's taken their share of cuts and bruises. Need some armor? Maybe it's a bit secondhand, but that's only... We also have a line of specialized melee weapons.
Who there? Hey, McRed, were you expecting any company?
A neighbor from above approaches our realm. Back away now, or you'll parley with the king. Look at this ripe piece of meat, you. Time to feed the flame.
Is this what carbon monoxide poisoning looks like? I don't think this deck is too...
Speaking for myself, Captain, I am not of a mind to...
You came with the crew. Welcome. We got plenty of space to spread out. I know this ain't a toy, neighbor from above. It's a catalyst, just like me. Listen to the fire of those convictions. Alive or dead. Rare or medium. What's it?
Incoming! Who there? Hey, McRed, were you expecting any company?
A neighbor from above approaches our realm. Look at this. Time.
Is...
You can't... I know this... Listen to the... A lot...
Incoming! Take cover!
Their death, our survival.
Smells kind of like old fashioned outlaw pipes.
You know that sound when you've snapped on an injector clip? I got a full line of weapon modifications.
Who wants to play an impromptu tossball match? No one? In?
How goes the hunt? I've been ruminating on it, and I decided, if you ain't killed McRed yet, I want you to hurt him a... Nothing excessive, mind you, but the scoundrel deserves a lot. I believe I'm growing fond of you, bounty hunter. If you got the Mardet... Here's the bounty payout. Nice work down there. With any luck, we can hire more sharp-eyed bounty... Do I look like you're gossiping? I'm not here for it. We're the security force here on Groundbreaker. Started back before the crossing, you know. The original force was made up of a Marine detachment from the 77th Marine Expeditionary Unit, Trailward Fleet. Folks started calling us Mardets because it was easier to say. Guess it stuck.
Rizzo's Purpleberry Fudge. A soft, sour candy shell aroma. Sweet purpleberry flavored center.
Ooh, can we rent an upstairs room?
Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Do you have what it takes to defend your corporate township from the dangers of alien wildlife and the unemployed? Talk to your local manager about applying for military training and lend your life to protecting our wonderful brand.
Bless my heart. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my... I've got a lovely little throw pillow.
Thought there'd be more machinery. Must be housed on a sublevel.
I could spend all day in here and not have looked at half the best stuff. It's all pretty worn, though.
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. Groundbreaker doesn't see many visitors. I heard we had someone in impound. Wish I could help. I gave the bureaucrats a motive authority over freight traffic, and it rankles them good when I challenge it. Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, their family. Good. Don't go making trouble, and chances are you won't find any. So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious. Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. Maybe someone in the promenade can... We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust outsiders.
What?
Parvati, is it? That's a lovely...
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with actual, real space...
Junlei is fine.
Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering if... Well, maybe you could teach me some things. I could message you later, maybe?
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati. You can ask me anything.
Wow, great! I'll do that then. Messages. Later. Couldn't have done it without your moral support.
Now, if there's not... Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're dumping superheated air into my ship. Only the board has access to new parts, and I won't let them swim. None. Every time I give in to the board, Groundbreaker loses its freedom. Soon there won't be anything left. The board isn't helping, and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those radiators back online... Reasonable, huh? That's... According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bays. Then you know it's a den of criminals and miscreants. Unfortunately, I'll need to ask you to return. I have. One of my engineers, plus a... I can't afford to lose... Nice and pragmatic. Good. Once you've obtained the parts, we can...
Shay's gonna be pleased as pie when we show her these.
Easy does it.
Good work. I'll take those. I need you to head through the large door at the far end of engineering. Take the elevator down and there's a terminal in the back. Activate it when I call over the ship's PA. And bring weapons. More than a few. Less than a hive. Nothing. We were salvaging parts from a ship. Turned out there were eggs inside. They got into the radiators and here...
Don't worry, Miss Junlei.
I'm genuinely hard...
Controls are in the back of the machinery shaft area. Clear of the radiator. You don't need to kill the mess pillars, but I'd be my
Everyone all right?
Strong tells me the security mechanicals booted up and killed a bunch of mantis. Bad news. Diagnostic says their circuit boards are fused from the heat, so they're not too picky about who they kill next. Sneak past if you can. Shoot back if you need to. I can always fix them later.
halt. Investigate.
That's the last of them!
That's the terminal. I have the parts in position on my side. Go ahead and cycle the droplet pumps. And if you don't know what that means, just look for a command that says cycle droplet pumps.
Unexpected.
Incoming!
I got this!
Done. The temperatures are dropping. Stop by once you found your way out of there. Groundbreaker.
Seen you limping a bit. You alright, Mr. Vicker? Need us to slow down?
What are you implying? I am perfectly fit. My knee is just acting up.
There's no shame in being older, Mr. Vicker. Don't worry. The captain and I will take care of you.
I need neither your advice nor your pity, young lady.
The temperature should be dropping as we speak. I'll see to it the crew know. If you've got time, I believe Edna has a comms issue that could use your attention. I've also authorized Doc and Furu to sell you. You're right, I don't. The board is after two things, bits and power, and they only get it by sticking their nose where it doesn't belong. I placate them when I have something to offer, but I can also be a real hard-ass. It'd be a joy if I could kick out the corporate merchants and reclaim the docking fee. Too much of Groundbreaker's income is flowing in the wrong direction. I'd like... Frustrating. Everything down to the circuit boards is past warranty, so I have the pleasure of making life-or-death decisions on... Plus, there's no time to train my successor or document fixes in a way that anyone outside the family would understand.
Oh, gosh. I don't know.
Don't sell yourself short. It doesn't take a seasoned pro to tinker on Groundbreaker. Just someone. We're always thirsting for help. Sure is. The Tennysons came over on the Groundbreaker. My grandmother, Chief Gaying, kept it together during the crossing and until she died. I was promoted only recently, when my mom died.
They must have been amazing people to have taught you all you know.
That means a lot coming from... Appreciate it. There wasn't much that took me by surprise about the job, but the little things you never expect or think about, maybe you can see why. You see any bite-sized Tennyson children running around? The next captain won't have my heritage. I'll have to foster that talent from somewhere. You've got...
You aiming to send a message? If Well, yeah. The comm center routes all messages within, to, and from the Groundbreaker. We also switchboard most of the message traffic throughout. Of course, we're about to go dead, so I may be reappropriated to architect knows where, doing law knows what. Our primary relay station's soon to be occluded by a gas giant. Happens every 40 years. The event's forecasted to last for months, during which we'll lose.
And that's our...
We've got backup auxiliary relays, but the one currently in orbital range went offline some months ago. We can't... Yeah, I'm working on it. I finally got the chief to approve the but allocating the personnel loss for sending a technical team to the relay station... I should say no, but why not? Maybe you can figure out...
Hope you don't mind if I borrow that manual when you're done with it, Captain.
Oh, and I'll need you to retrieve a copy of the relay's backup data. I gotta forward any messages from Earth stored in the memory. The relay stations orbit the edge of the Halcyon system, so they tend to receive the majority... I'm sure the station's got a stack of junk messages just... It's not like they're in high demand. Most tend to be adverts on new products, meaning only folks in Byzantium.
Hey, Luke.
Go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated bastards.
Yeah, no one wants you on Groundbreaker.
These stairs are board property. Disperse now, or I'll detain you for trespassing.
Oh, real scary. You're really gonna arrest us on our station?
Yeah, this is Chief Julie. You don't own...
Ah, the board. Organized, efficient, competent.
We interrupt you.
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. He must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that has something. I impounded Alex's ship, not yours. Well, I guess it's yours now. If I ask him to turn in Phineas Wells, he tells me he will soon. I impound his ship. He explains why he can't give me the info right now. Around and around. Right. You're going important places, I'm sure. There, I've removed the flag from your ship. Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. You haven't read the posters? He's a terror. That's... well, that's just terrible news. Oh, I'm sorry. This is terrible. It's personal business, I'm afraid. Information on the whereabouts of Phineas Wells would go up. It's fine, really. Now, if you've nothing else, please see... I'm the certified representative of the board's interests here on the Groundbreaker. I'm their eyes, ears. I have few... You refer to the radiator issue? Oh, goodness, it was dreadful. Chief Tennyson certainly did take her time. Gracious, no. I can't imagine what gave you that idea. I only facilitated deplorable conduct. My superiors will be hearing about it.
She did everything she could.
Oh, sweetie. I don't owe a grease-stained wrench jockey like her the time of day. I'm sorry, my temper got away from me.
Oh, I'm not used to folks saying...
Well, now that... Oh, you've noticed my friends. They're here to keep the peace. Precisely. Groundbreaker makes much ado about its independent status and so resents any board presence, no matter... When the alternative is board guards at their gates, yes, I do. A luxury stateroom. Oh, good law, of course not. As this office is the primary embassy for the board on Groundbreaker, corporate bylaws specifically state a room... Oh, good law! No. Best to be clear.
of it. My orientation ain't... That's a spaceship. So... have a look.
It's almost time. Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a transaction. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside. Now, I only have the one nav key, and they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that. She sent me a recording of a distress signal. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And can't say I know for sure.
Sounds like someone poking into somewhere they shouldn't.
Comm centers don't operate themselves, Captain. Someone
Those corps are cleverer than all get out. Might have been a ruse. Edna didn't seem to think so, and I trust the dear girl's judgment. And if someone set up shop... Maybe whatever they're hiding went to heck, and now they need a fuse. If you should find... the more... We don't... You've got it. If you... the more... Don't forget... I found a hen's...
We interrupt your regularly scheduled... advertisement for the following... Tossball finals are scheduled to air soon, but...
How do you do? And, sorry. Didn't quite catch that. Huh. Of course. Most of our supplies coming... Cheap. Our local garbage collectors. That Lilia Hagen never met a debris. She freely... Our local She... Our chief... There... Oh, I'm sorry. Was this your room? I'll just move along. Wait.
A new face. I hear tell some folk down in the townships are getting offered early retirement. Who'd think of so? Nothing you need and...
I try and keep the place clean in case Chief Tennyson stops by.
Hey you, where's my order?
You still haven't paid for your last one.
Hey, Mr. Vicar, do you ever get a little bit homesick for Edgewater? For that ocean stink?
No, I do not.
You're supposed to say yes and go on to explain why. I just want to have a conversation.
Of course you do.
Hello? Is someone there? Help! I'm locked in here. Can you get me out?
Handled beautifully.
Thank you, stranger. Shit. You have no idea how good the air on Groundbreaker smells until you've been... Thanks to... What usually happens on this partially pressurized... Well, actually two things broke. First, the damn toilet... Time stood still. Ah, shit. That means I haven't clocked out in days. So... You're gonna shake me down after I was... That all? Of course.
What they do with their waste? I guess they just chuck it down here. Where's it all go? How about I stay up top? You know, keep watch, okay? Deft hands, Captain.
Incoming!
Nice hit!
Nice one!
Everyone all right?
Join party, Captain.
Hey, how'd you get back there?
Hello. Junlei called. Now is there take...
happening on Terra 1? Last I heard, the board was in dispute with the Renegade Company. Sounded done.
Rizzo's knock you out. 76 milk chocolate bar.
Step lively, Miss Holcomb.
I'm not winded. Honest. My, boot was untied.
Would hate for you to get left behind, or architect forbid, become lost.
Low day, huh?
You're a deft hand with a magnet. I'll make my way there. Heading back.
have a look.
Rizzo's Purpleberry Punch. You want a punch? We've got your punch right here.
No one saw me trip over that, right? Impressive, as always. There it is. Just yank the drive, and I'll do the rest. Now that we have the data cartridge, I can finally find out where that scholar I'm looking for ended up. Got it. His name is Reginald Cheney, and he joined a sublight salvage crew. Only he's not listed. Ah, yes. Here. There's a domicile on Monarch in Fallbrook, rented to the same bit card he used to buy his seat on the salv. I should have guessed. What be- I admit it was a bit of a long shot, but...
Hey, that pad down there, with the lights off, there are people unloading a ship.
Probably another sublight contract haul. Could be drugs, could be bootleg Aetherwave cartridges.
And they're just transferring cargo out where everyone can see?
Legal or not, somehow the company always has its paperwork in order.
Hey there! Got word on the wireless. Hope you enjoyed your time on Made it up on the spot.
I don't...
What? I'm still... We don't need luck. Bye.
You don't seem to like traveling with us much.
Why in the ark?
Hey, you got a second? Fancy running into you again. Don't mind me. Gotta hand it to you, boss. That's a fine-looking Yes, I absolutely... Just give me a shot. That's all I'm asking. I could be the best at... Oh, okay. Hey, that's good advice. I like the way... Besides, not like there's a line of folks standing around hoping to get on your ship. I'm persistent, I'm eager, and I'm showing an... Sure, an interview. That sounds fair. I mean... Are you kidding? I love a good fight. One time, I took an autoloader's head clean off its You can count on me in a... Foreman told me my biggest problem was that I didn't take orders. I told him my problem is not with authority. So yeah, I guess my biggest flaw is that I don't... mock apple pie and a tripicale crust? Wow. You don't know how long... Thanks, boss.
Really? We're picking...
Look at that. A real vicar.
I believe I hear Felix and Parvati discussing the latest Aetherwave serial. Welcome back, Captain. How can... Yes, Captain. Beginning playback now.
There's viscera and death everywhere. Gunfire, gnashing teeth. The unemployed. For law's sake, if anyone's received... What?
Captain, we are now capable of accessing... Also, corporate protocol requires that all distress signals include a list of key personnel for retrieval. The embedded names are Anton... Forgive me, Captain. I would... Was there another... Captain Hawthorne attached 98.4% of the ship's processes to my computer, thereby giving me near... I have been programmed to deftly calculate navigation vectors through asteroids. Alex also taught me the concept of a personality. He was quite delighted when I crafted one. The information in my memory banks says I am an autonomous digital astrogator. I have not yet decided if I should attempt to uncover... I asked once. Alex did not build me. Engine 2 has been running hot lately. Captain, can you ask Parvati to check the coils again?
You watching the Aether Waves last night? Halcyon Helen finally took down the Chief of the Savages, with a guest appearance from none other than the Masked Marketeer.
Do you think maybe I could borrow that sometime? Hey, Captain. Hey, Captain. Can I get your temperature? So, Junlei and I have been talking some. Through messages. I got him here on my datapad, and well, she sent me a poem. What? I don't know if I should read into it. Because poems are all symbolic. Oh, law. It's about this engine that's been shaking itself apart. Then this lady mechanic comes by, and I don't want to get too hopeful, but I'm wondering if maybe... I don't know where it's leading yet. I'm not... When folks start implying you're a little different from an auto mechanic, I guess I just needed to... I actually had another message. Let's see here. Talking about old friends. They were... close. I don't know. Junlei talked about them like it was past. Captain, I'm feeling all mixed up right now. Thanks, Cap. Felix keeps asking me to watch some adventure serial with him?
As always, any...
Good to see you, boss. Didn't I tell you? I'm secretly the chairman's orphan child, abandoned at birth in the back bays. That's right. Honestly, before you picked me up, I was living in the back bays. Spent my whole life up there, watching ships roll. I was what folks on the Groundbreaker call a stowaway. Means I was invisible. Life carried on for... That's what they called us. Orphans with no family, no... The word's a touch kindlier than Rungleech, but the meaning's just as clear. If you can't support your own self, you don't... Same way we all do. Look for work and hope so. Hauling boxes was about the only work I could find. Hated every second of it. Could be I was overreacting. A better man might have turned the other cheek. Exercised a little bit. But on the other hand, broadsiding the jackass with a tossball stick, that felt... Oh, I can do civilized. Proper civilized, too. Genuflecting and everything. I caught a real lucky break. If you hadn't picked me up, I'd still... Yeah. I guess my ship did arrive in the end. Thanks for listening.